All right, get ready for a story that has a little bit of everything: urban acrobatics, some serious high stakes drama, and just a whole lot of heart. We're talking about a tiny squirrel family on a third floor balcony and how their wild adventure turned into this amazing community wide triumph.
And honestly, this quote from someone watching it all unfold online pretty much says it all. It's that raw, in the moment reaction that's at the very center of our story today. Because, when a secret wildlife drama starts playing out right outside your window, what else can you even say?
Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off on this quiet balcony in a German city, which is where a very, very special red squirrel decided, yep, this is the spot. I'm building my home here. So meet Pocky. She's our hero squirrel. And in what I can only call a stroke of pure genius, she looked at a balcony cushion and didn't see furniture. She saw the perfect nursery. And for her human neighbors, well, they suddenly had a front row seat to this secret little world, watching this tiny family grow day by day. Now, you might be thinking, it's a squirrel. What's the big deal? But seeing Pocky was actually a huge deal. See, unlike their gray cousins, who are absolute masters of the concrete jungle, red squirrels like Pocky are way, way rarer in cities. They've kind of been pushed out by habitat loss, so she wasn't just any squirrel. She was this tiny symbol of resilience, carving out a home against all the odds. So for a while, that balcony was this perfect, peaceful little haven. Until, it wasn't. This whole idyllic scene was about to take a really sharp, dramatic turn. The excitement really kicked into high gear when Pocky's 3 babies, they're called kits by the way, started to explore. Just picture it, these tiny, clumsy little fur balls just tumbling all over each other. It's that kind of pure, unfiltered joy that makes you stop whatever you're doing and just watch. The balcony was officially a playground. And this is where things get a little tense. All that boundless energy is absolutely adorable, right? But on a third floor balcony, when you have zero concept of danger, well, it's also a recipe for disaster. And then it happened. This is the moment everything just changed. One of the babies, in this burst of pure, playful energy, just took a leap and fell. 3 stories. It's one of those heart-stopping moments that reminds you just how fragile life is for these little guys. Incredibly, he survived. It's an actual miracle. He landed on a trash can, which probably broke his fall, but he was seriously hurt. The observer, who ended up naming him Rocky, found him with a limp leg, a bloody nose, and broken teeth. Just a heartbreaking price to pay for a single moment of play. Okay, but this is where the story pivots. This is where the heartbreak starts to turn into heroism. Because faced with this tiny, injured baby squirrel, the human observer didn't hesitate for a single second. When they got down to Rocky, this is what they heard. And that tiny sound, it wasn't just a noise. It was a desperate call for help from a creature that was absolutely terrified and in a lot of pain. The response was just textbook perfect. So calm, so effective. First, the observer gently secured the baby. Second, they called the experts. And yes, squirrel hotlines are a real and amazing thing. And finally, they got him to a professional wildlife shelter. That quick thinking, no question, is what probably saved his life. And getting him that expert care was so critical, especially because of his broken teeth. See, this can lead to a condition called malocclusion, and it's as bad as it sounds. It's where the teeth just grow uncontrollably, sometimes even curling back into the skull. It's almost always fatal. So Rocky didn't just need a warm box. He needed serious medical help. So Rocky was in safe hands, and you'd think, okay, story's over, but not even close. Back up on the balcony, his mom Pocky was facing her own crisis, and an entire online community was about to step up in a big way. And you have to feel for Pocky here. Understandably, she was completely distressed. One of her babies was just gone, her home had been disturbed, and now she was getting scared of the very people who were trying to help her. It was just a super delicate, heartbreaking situation. But this is where the power of community just blew everyone away. Online, people started pouring in with practical, kind advice. Things like adding a climbing rope or moving planters to close the gaps. These weren't just safety tips, they were these small acts of collective care from strangers, all trying to make the world a little safer for Pocky. And then, Pocky made a mother's call. She left. One day, the balcony was just empty. She had moved her other two babies to a new spot, somewhere she felt was safer. It was this quiet, incredibly powerful act of a mom doing whatever it takes to protect her family. Now, for the person who started all this, it probably felt like a loss, like maybe they'd scared her away. But the online community was right there. And this one comment really says it all. It's someone telling the rescuer that they made the right call and sharing in that bittersweet feeling. Just pure, supportive human empathy. So why does this one little story about this one squirrel family matter so much? Well, because it's actually a perfect little window into something much, much bigger. Their whole adventure, it really shines a light on that delicate dance between our world and theirs. It shows the risks, sure, but it also shows these incredible opportunities we have for compassion and connection when our lives cross paths with the wildlife living right alongside us.
When you step back, this story is a victory on every single level. It's about a kind person who chose to act. It's about the essential work that wildlife shelters do every day. It's about the power of a community that rallies to help. And it's about the incredible, unbelievable resilience of a wild animal just trying to make it in our world. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. This entire drama, this whole emotional roller coaster, it played out on one balcony and was noticed by one person. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we just take a second to look up, to pay attention, what other small but amazing stories are happening all around us, just waiting to be seen?